I told God I was going to go to the US. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I told God that I want to meet my husband at the age of 22 and I want to get married at the age of 23. God did that. And all these things I told God, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but what it happened. Hello and welcome back. I've been talking about lessons 2023 taught me about life. Let's dive in. Number one, I would say is family. When I tell people here in the US that I came all the way from Nigeria to the United States alone with no spouse, no boyfriend, no husband, no fiance, no mother, father, sister, nobody. And I came to a place where I don't know any single person. I didn't know anybody in Maryland when I landed into the US. I literally came here alone. And when I tell people that I did that, I came here at the age of 22. And when I tell people that I did that, everybody's like, what? You're so brave. You're so strong. I wasn't feeling strong and brave when I did what I did. And it broke my heart to leave my family. Literally, I cried my eyes out, leaving my family. I was excited about the opportunity that the US was going to bring for me. I was excited about the opportunity that coming here was going to bring for me and my family, but it broke my heart to be separated from my family for that long. I went to a boarding school as a child, and I went to a school out of state from the state that my parents lived. So my parents lived in Lagos, but I schooled in Anambra State. And I would barely see my parents maybe once in 2 years or once in a year, things like that. And in secondary school, it was like once in a month, which is like they come 2 times in a term. So it was different. It was really different. But now it's like I'm going over to a whole new world. It's not the one that if they miss me too much, they just enter motor and come down to the east, or enter the motor and come down to my boarding school. It's now, if I miss them so much, or if they miss me so much, would have to apply for visa or plane ticket and fly down all the way to this place, or I fly down all the way back to Nigeria to see them. And it's not easy now because there's a lot of things in process. You have to apply for leave. You have to, go and file for a visa. You also have to, do a lot of things. There's a lot of things now involved. I miss my family so much. I wish I was there physically for them. Family-wise, a lot of things happened in my family in 2023 that I really wished I was there for them physically, not just emotionally and financially, but physically, to help everybody to put hands together as a family to solve whatever issue that was. And it's just so sad that I wasn't able to do that. Also, it made my family grow. We grew in our hearts. We grew in our minds. It made us grow. And it helped my sisters especially see that there's a life beyond Nigeria. There are possibilities beyond where they are. Moving to the US opened my sister's mind. They saw that there is a huge possibility to leave. Now, it's not somebody that they heard of. It is not a neighbor. It is family. It is their own sister that had moved out, that has moved to this place. And now they see that there is a possibility for them to also move. There's a possibility for them to grow beyond Alaba International, to grow beyond Lagos State, to grow beyond Nigeria as a whole. That's one of the things that gave me, it gave me joy. Another lessons on that family in 2023 is the fact that our parents are growing old. Our parents are growing old. It's sad. It's something that makes me sad every time. I remember when I was going to boarding school and, when I was schooling in the East, when I would see my mom, she looked older than, how she was before. The things that I know her to be able to do, she now finds them, gradually being difficult, or she does them less, no more as active or as agile as before. And it made me sad. It made me so sad. My dad to falling sick, not being able to recuperate as they used to before. It's different now. Everything is different now, and it just made me so sad. This thing is making me emotional. It just made me so sad to be here and not being able to be there for my parents while they grow old. Second broad thing would be friendship. Um, Damn, moving to a whole new country, leaving all your friends behind, the people you went to school together with, you know it's hard, it's different. In 2022, most of my friends left the country. Some of them are still back in Nigeria. Some people left the country, some people relocated from our childhood neighborhood. Everybody was going on to the islands, and it was hard. And even some people were leaving the country as a whole, to Canada, to the UK, to the US. And now I had to go through most of these friendships, how to hold on to them. And I found out that managing the friends that you have in itself is not an easy task. We had to do lots of phone calls, lots of iMessages. We have various groups. We have groups on iMessage, we have groups on Instagram. We send ourselves Snapchat streaks every single day. That was one of the ways we had to keep in touch with each other. We might not talk every day, but those streaks helps us understand what is going in each and every one of our lives every day. So we give each other daily updates about what we are going through. We get encouragement that way. We stay in touch. Basically, we try to stay in touch as much as possible. Hi there, I know you must be enjoying this video and getting so much value from it. Why don't you hit the subscription button, like this video, and comment on it. When you do this, YouTube pushes this video out so that more people could see it and more people could gain more values just like you were doing. So without further ado, let's jump right back into the video. Thank you. But I will tell you one thing for free. It is really not easy even maintaining that. Personally, I've had days where I'm not able to send my own personal streaks for 3 or 4 days. And now it's not because I don't want to talk to my friends or I don't want to continue that friendship, but because of how busy I am and how busy life can be over here. Second thing would be finding new friends. As an adult, it is very difficult to find friends, especially when you come to a different land, and especially the fact that I didn't come as a student. I will keep saying this. Now, not as though international students have it super easy. They don't. But I feel that, when you come into this country as a nurse or as somebody who is going into the workforce immediately, it's not exactly easy, because in that job, you're learning the culture. You have to be careful so you don't say the things you shouldn't be saying. You have to be careful to not say certain things that will offend people's beliefs, religion, and things like that. But I believe when you are in the schooling system, you have the opportunity to mingle with people in such a way that they teach you about the culture. Your work friends, your colleagues at work are not your friends. Yeah, they are not. They are really not. Finding friends was something that for months it was hard. It was so hard to find people who you genuinely connect with. And then when you find those people at work, it's also harder to want to open up, because you don't know who you're opening up to. You don't know if you are talking to somebody who will report you to your manager the next day. And then there are people who fake niceness. It's everywhere. You see, they'll come are you okay? Are you all right? And then you feel because they're asking you, are you all right? Are you all right? Every single day, that they actually care about you. They don't. It's just a courtesy way of saying hello to you. One thing I like about Nigerians and Africans as a whole is that we don't hide our feelings. We don't hide. When you don't like somebody, you don't hide it. They are aware. But over here, it's not the same thing. And these are the things that made me just, it's not easy. It's really not easy. And then let's talk about mending friendships and offenses. As we all know that offenses will arise. Even Jesus told us in the Bible, he was like, offenses will arise. There will be a time where somebody is going to offend you. But he also told us that we should be able to forgive. And human nature wants to say things like, oh, forgive, how you forgive. Even when Peter asked Jesus and said, how many times are we supposed to forgive? And Jesus said 70 times 7 daily. So once the clock hits 12, there's a reset on that 70 times 7. So you have to, take it all over again and, forgive offenses. I was badly hurt. I had a bad church hurt and friendship hurt in 2022. into 2023. It was terrible. It was heartbreaking. In fact, if you hear it, it's heart-wrenching, basically. It was a hard time for me and even my close friends, because they are the people who kind of like helped me through that a bit. It wasn't an easy journey for me. In that process, I learned that unforgiveness hurts you more than it hurts the person that you're holding grudges for. Because sometimes they don't even know what they did. They don't even know that they did something that hurt you that bad. When I learned this, I just let everybody go in my mind. Like, I forgive everybody. Now, the truth is, I forgive every single person that have hurt me. But would they have that same access that they had before that gave them the opportunity to hurt me that bad? No, they would never have that. But when I see them, when we talk on the phone, will I be civil? Yes. Will I talk and not feel like my heart is breaking? Yes. But that same access that they had has been shortened by far. Okay? And then when it comes to relationship, moving to the US, one of the major fear many people had as a single lady. Let me tell you some of the things that I heard when I mentioned to my coworkers back in Lagos that I was going to the US. Some people were like, why don't you marry? Make sure you marry, I remember going to see my best friend's mom, telling her that, my visa interview date was set and I was to go for my interview date. And after the interview, once the visa is approved, I'll be leaving Nigeria. And she was so happy for me, but at the same time, she sat me down and she was like, she's so scared of us because her daughter, my best friend, had traveled like 6 months ago before this time now. And she was telling me, she's so scared for us, traveling out of Nigeria without being married, and it's something that she's scared about. People are saying that, especially for nurses, once they start making money, that they're not going to be respectful to men, or they're not going to like marry, or men might be seeing them as a threat. And I remember telling her that the God who has sent us to these places, the God who has approved us to go to these places, would be the same person to find us good partners that would be willing to grow with us. While I was talking to her at this time, I had not met my spouse at all. I had no idea of how that was going to happen, but I said, if I was going to find a spouse, or if I was going to settle down, I was going to open my heart, open myself, and apply myself. One of the first things that I did was to remove my Instagram page from being private. My Instagram page was private for the longest time, and I removed my Instagram page from being private. And you would not believe that when I did that, I think 2 or 3 weeks later, I got a message on Instagram from my spouse. So there you have it. I met my spouse on Instagram. So remove your page from private. That's on a lighter note. But one of the fears was that traveling abroad, you won't find a partner, you won't see a spouse, it will take time because everybody abroad is busy working, which is not a lie. Nobody has time to go out, which is not so true. In as much as everybody is so busy, there's also time. People go out, people flex, people visit places, people apply themselves. Thank God for the world that we are in now. We are in a digital world where people can be in any part of the world and communicating to you. If that's one of your fears for moving outside the country, because I know I've had more than 10 people in my personal DMs talking about how, they are single, they don't have anybody in their life, there's nobody even talking to them, and they're thinking, of traveling, but they don't know how, the abroad looks like, or the dating life looks like here abroad. True to your words, yes, the dating life here is chaotic, but there are people who are still getting married. There are people who are still having beautiful relationships, beautiful marriages, people who are being blessed. So one of the beliefs that I had strongly in my mind was that if people here are getting married, giving birth, having good families, regardless of what the internet is telling us about these things, then it is possible. And one of my biggest mantra is that if I see the possibility of something in somebody's life, then it can happen in mine. Okay? And I always speak positively, which is one thing you should do. I'm not saying that anybody that comes to your DM should, jump on them like that and pounce on them, or, just pray. which is one thing I did. I prayed a lot. I prayed to God about my spouse. I prayed to God about so many things. So what I just wanted to say, relationship, or what relationship has taught me in 2023 is be patient, apply yourself, be kind, be a kind person. When people reach out to you in your DMs and you want to turn them down, please be polite. Don't talk down on people. You don't know who you are talking. You don't know who you might be talking to. If you see the first message my spouse sent to me, it was just very funny. It was straight to the point, which is another thing again I want to say. If you're going into people's DMs, please go straight to the point. If you want to send me a message, people who send me messages with what they want, they get replies from me. I have a lot of people on Instagram who have sent me DMs and I responded to them. I also have a lot of people who have sent me DMs on Instagram and I did not respond to any of them, because of how my page is, because of what they sent to me. Hello, hi, no message, no nothing, no why are you in my DMs. People are busy. So don't do that. One of the things again life has taught me in general is, in your workplace, be kind. Yes, not niceness, kindness. Kindness is one of the fruits of the spirit. That fruit, people don't talk about it enough. Be kind, but don't be stupid. Don't allow people walk over you. When I say be kind, try to put how people feel, how they feel, understand people's feeling. Don't always put people before you, right? But be kind to people, be sensitive to people. Know when to say no and know when to say yes. If you keep saying yes all the time, people will keep taking from you, right? And you keep feeling drained. And one last thing I want to say is have faith in God. Like I said, I'm a Christian, so have faith in God. Faith is something you've not seen, but you have strong hope in that thing that is going to come. That faith that I had in 2023, I had crazy faith though. I thought about the things that a human mind would not think of. Well, a human mind, which is me, did think of it, but I thought about things that are big, that are wild, things that would not naturally cross your mind. And I trusted God for them. And I said, these things, I would do it. I didn't know how. Just like my US journey. My US journey was one of my faith walk. And when I tell people my story, everybody's like, what? Are you serious? I told God I was going to go to the US. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't have the financial resources for it. I didn't have anything for it. I didn't even know how to go about it. But I said, this is what I wanted. That dream, it took a while, but it came to fruition. And when I started, every step of the way, God ordered each step. So have faith in God. Trust God and believe that which you set your mind to is going to come to pass. One of the lessons 2023 taught me is being grateful. Yes, being grateful. Having a heart of gratitude. Having a heart of thanksgiving at all times. In the good, in the bad, in the ugly, having a heart of gratitude. That's one of the biggest things 2023 taught me. What was like a dream as a child to come to pass in this manner. What are the things that I dreamt of? I told God. I told God I wanted to come to the US, and God, sealed the idea. I told God that I want to meet my husband at the age of 22, and I want to get married at the age of 23. God did that. And all these things I told God, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but what it happened. I trusted God. I had that faith in God. And all these things, when I look back at them, I am so grateful. I look at how many people who are my age mate and where they are today and where I am today. And there is nothing that comes out of my mouth and my heart other than thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for how far you've brought me. Thank you, Jesus, for how far you are taking me. And thank you, Jesus, for all the things you are still doing in my life. 2023 was my year of gratitude. It was my year of thanksgiving. It was literally my year of saying thank you, Jesus, every single day because of how much God did for me. Even in the times where I felt like this whole thing was becoming too much, I still found a way to be thankful to God. When there were some certain issues that came up in my family, that came up in my personal life, I wanted to cry and be like, oh my God, this is becoming, it's becoming too much. But one thing came to my mind, and that thing is He had already provided the means for me to be able to scale through these things before they even came. God had provided the means that I needed to scale through these things before they came. And that is one thing that I want us to, go about this year too, having a heart of thanksgiving. There's one Igbo adage, this, but I'm going to say it in English too. But the Igbo adage is, Eto dike na nkome omekwa ọzọ. So when you praise a big person, or when you praise a king in what he has done, he's going to do another one. And that is just it. So when you keep thanking God for all he has done, for all that he's doing, he's going to feel encouraged. And maybe encourage is not the right word, but he's going to feel good to keep doing more for you because you are thankful and you have a heart of gratitude. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. I hope you picked one or two things, and I would like to hear in the comment section, what are those things that 2023 taught you? The good, the bad, the ugly. What are the things 2023 taught you? I would like to hear it in the comment section. Okay, bye.